Okay, perfect. So, just to kick us off today, we have a couple of exciting housekeeping pieces, and then we also wanted to share with you a bit about the October Share Your Vision launch, which we'll get into here in a bit. But I'm excited to share with you all a little bit more about our United in Visions conference that we have coming up in June of 2026. And we recently just announced our keynote speaker, Anastasia Pagonis, who is going to be kicking off one of our sessions on Friday, June 12th. And for those of you who maybe are not familiar with Anastasia, she is a Paralympic gold and bronze medalist with a world record holding swimmer. And she's a powerful advocate within the blind and low vision community. So Anastasia lost her vision when she was 14 years old due to a rare genetic condition. And ever since then, she has decided to utilize her platform for good. She not only has made a huge impact in the pool with her Paralympic status, but she also has really reached into the world of advocacy, fashion, and social impact. So if anyone on this call actually attended our Night for Sight that we had this year, you already got a sneak peek of Anastasia because she was actually one of the speakers at that event as well. She is just a powerhouse of resilience and has really been able to raise more awareness to the low vision community throughout her platform. So you will definitely be excited to hear more from her in June. But I also wanted to share with you all a few of the other sessions that are starting to come to light now that we are really building out what the agenda is going to look like for the Visions Conference. So currently we have, in terms of science sessions, optogenetics for sight restoration, stem cells and regenerative medicine, genetic therapies for gene therapies and genome editing, genetic testing and counseling, general eye health and nutrition sessions, gene agnostic therapeutic approaches, clinical trial readiness, and then another optogenetics for sight restoration therapy. We're also going to have some opportunities for from bench to bedside. So it takes a global village is what this one is going to be called, where it's really to discuss the different phases of research development from, the bench of science where the project starts all the way towards regulatory approval. And then, of course, throughout these sessions, we're also going to have some clinical and research updates for Usher syndrome, retinitis pigmentosa, LCA, Stargardt and macular dystrophies, as well as age-related macular degeneration, and then addition to additional other retinal diseases like XLRS and X-linked retinoschisis. So exciting stuff is coming up for everybody within the low vision community as we're starting to build out some of these sessions. For those of you who attended in the past, you may also remember that there were more fun lifestyle sessions that we also hosted. So those are in the process of being built out as well. So you'll have a little bit of break from some of the heavy science portions of the Visions Conference and really be able to, talk a little bit to those who maybe it's athletics or bird watching or potentially guide dogs sessions. So more of those will be announced over the next few months, but I wanted to be able to give you all a bit of a teaser of what is in the works and what we've currently confirmed. Now, I will say that registrations are still open, so please feel free to go ahead and reserve your spot as soon as you are able. We're also working on building in some chapter leader activities as well. So we would love for all of you to be able to be part of that. Once we build out what those look like, of course, we'll share more details on those as well. But we do want to make this a great opportunity to not only get to learn some great science initiatives that are happening and some of the research that is moving forward, but also an opportunity for everybody in the community to be able to get together as well. Any questions about United Envisions? Has anyone on this call already registered to attend?
I have.
Awesome, Heather. Can't wait to see you there.
You too.
I have.
Awesome. Who is that? I'm sorry.
Hi, this is Bob Nash, new chapter leader from the Pacific Northwest.
Hey, Bob. So excited to have you there. So this will be your first time then getting to enjoy Visions as a leadership perspective. Is that right?
First time ever. So I'm looking forward to it and learning more.
Great. Dan, I saw you come off mute. I know you've been to a few of these. Do you have any advice for Mr. Nash here as he ventures into his first Visions conference?
Well, yeah, thanks, Bailey. Sure, I've attended many Visions conferences going back a lot of years now. So, Bob, I guess prepare to learn how to drink from a fire hose because there will be lots of good science and lots of good information and lots of choices for sessions. And I'm sure, Bailey, like all the conferences, they'll be recorded, so you'll be able to see the ones that you miss out there. But I think you can look forward to a lot of good information and a lot of good networking. That's really, I think, the opportunity for us to mix and mingle and to make new connections and to reestablish old connections, I think, is as much an important part of the conference as the science and all the sessions. So I think you'll very much enjoy it.
I'm looking forward to it and looking forward to learning a lot. Appreciate it. And thanks for the welcome.
Of course. Do we have anyone else on our call today who has already registered yourself for Visions?
Yes, this is Adrian from Jacksonville. I have.
Oh, perfect, Adrian. We'll be glad to catch up with you once we get there.
Thanks, Bailey.
This is Marina from Houston. I've already registered as well.
Oh, perfect. Marina, is this going to be your first Visions conference?
No, this is my third or fourth, I think.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Great. And Jill, I see your hand up.
Yeah, I had a question. Are we doing regular updates on the website regarding the agenda and the sessions so we can share that?
Yes, great question. So our marketing team has been doing a really nice job of on the website under the Visions 2026 United Envisions page. There is updated schedules, session descriptions, a blurb about the keynote speaker. There's also information in here about sponsors and exhibitors. Experience in Fort Worth, Texas. So if people are trying to make this a bit of an extended vacation, some additional pieces that they can explore while in town. And then also a place to sign up to stay informed so that if you're interested, but you're not ready to kind of pull the plug and go ahead and purchase your ticket, that you can get signed up to learn a little bit more. I will say as a side note as well is the sponsors and exhibitors are always fantastic who come out to this. And since each of you are so intertwined within your communities, if you know of anybody, whether it be a low vision organization, a community organization, or even just someone who has a passion about the low vision space in general, there are many opportunities for them to exhibit at this. So feel free to reach out to me or your community manager if there's anybody that you think might be interested in coming to this in more of a professional capacity instead of attendance capacity. Great. Any other questions about United Envisions before we move on to the next piece? Okay, perfect. So the next part of the housekeeping is I wanted to just go ahead and get your all's wheels spinning just a little bit. So our internal team has a lot of projects that we're working on right now to really help drive what we're doing within the community. And eventually part of this is we're going to lean on our chapter leaders for their advice or influence. So if there is an topic area that you find that you are most interested in, be, let's say, leaderships or building relationships with local fundraising, engagement, if there's a passion project that you have where you say, my skills are very aligned with this, then feel free to reach out to me and let me know what that area of interest is. Because after our team builds out some of these projects, we will be looking to reach out to some of our chapter leaders for some feedback, because we know that you all are a wealth of knowledge and we want to make sure that what we're putting out into the community makes the most sense. So moving on to our monthly focus topic. So for those of you who have been around for the past couple of years, probably remember when we originally launched our October Share Your Vision campaign. And since we are here on September 17th, we're close to that time again. So I wanted to share with you all a little bit of a sneak peek of some of the items that are going to be pushed out within the community. I also have approval to share with you videos that are going to be launched, but they have to stay here. So I can't share the links to you yet, but I asked our marketing team if we could give our chapter leaders a special look into this, because this year's campaign is going to be fantastic. So I'm going to go ahead and pull up a few pieces here that I'm going to share. We'll go ahead and start with the videos, and then I will share with you all a little bit more about what this project's going to look like for this year. Give me 1 second. All right, so we have 2 videos. The first one I'm going to share with you is Evan's video. And so the caption for this one is going to, this is going to be posted out on social media. It's going to be October is Blindness Awareness Month, and today we launched our Share Your Vision campaign. This month we're celebrating the many people and many ways people see and experience the world. So Evan is a foundation brand ambassador who has Stargardt disease. And so she's going to share with us a little bit about her vision journey. And I'm going to go ahead and click here to open this. And so you all can hear Evan's story. Are you able to hear that? Did that sound go through?
I'm not hearing anything, Bailey.
No. Me neither.
Okay. Let me make sure I have.
I don't know. Do you have to share your screen or anything, Bailey? Oh, wait a minute. Something's happening now here.
Oh, yep, I'm just sharing my screen right now. So there is a start of a video of Evan's face on this one, and I just clicked to share the sound too. So I'm going to go ahead and play this. If you can't hear it, let me know.
Hi, I'm Evan, and I'm proud to be a part of this year's Share Your Vision campaign for the Foundation Fighting Blindness during Blindness Awareness Month this October. The way you see the world is as unique as your story. Your experiences, your perspectives, and the way you navigate daily life all shape who you are. For me, living with Stargardt disease means that not only is my vision different, but so is the way I experience the world and every moment. Vision loss is a part of my journey, but so is the hope, resilience, and perspective it's given me. This October, I'm sharing my vision, and I invite you to share yours. Together, we can show the many ways that people see the world. Your vision matters, your voice matters. Share your story using written word, audio, or video, and inspire others by using the hashtag #ShareYourVision and tagging the Foundation Fighting Blindness so that we can all see each other's stories and visions and outlooks on life, literally and figuratively.
Great. And then, so that's the first one that's going to come out over the next beginning of October. And then we also have an individual named Lance.
So when was a time where
who is going to share a bit about a time where he, his prompt question for this one was, what is one moment that made you feel seen or understood in terms of his vision loss? So this minute's about a little over a minute, and he'll share a little bit about his story.
So when was a time where I felt seen or understood? Well, when it comes to feeling seen, I almost feel like I'm seen too much because, I'm always making videos and putting them out online. But when it comes to feeling understood, you'd be surprised to know that that's pretty rare for me. Vision loss can be very confusing. And as someone with retinitis pigmentosa, it shows up in many different ways, so your symptoms never completely align with other people's symptoms. I either feel like I see too much or I see too little, depending on who I'm around. And that's even including when I'm around people with RP. But there was a time where I felt both seen and understood. And that was when Foundation Fighting Blindness featured me in my very own Beacon story. At the time, I was a fresh face in the blindness community. So to be featured gave me a massive confidence boost. It made me feel like my perspective and point of view is valid, and I had a seat at the table, even though I'm at the beginning stages of my vision loss. And to be honest, the confidence boost that my Beacon story gave me, I still feel today.
Great. So I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing these videos here. So like I said, these are all going to be pushed out on social media. And so we encourage you all to share these videos with your friends and family. Create your own videos. There are some great templates that we have on the website to be able to sure, hey, what prompt should I use? Or should I, do a written or video or audio version of this? But the way that we as a whole can really make an impact is by sharing this within our networks and encouraging the people within our networks to share amongst theirs as well, so that we really can reach as many individuals as possible. So we have a bit of a handout, and we're going to have these as well as some other materials that are going to be available to all of our chapters throughout the country. So our marketing team is actually hard at work to mail all of these materials to your local community managers, as well as some different signage, so that at your vision walks or your vision connections, that you can really be able to promote the share your vision throughout your event. So I'm going to share my screen one more time so you all can get an idea of what this is going to look like. So I'll go ahead and describe what we have going on here as well. So the first part of it is a dark blue background, and it has a little thought bubbles on here with different individuals' faces. I noticed a few of you on this call, faces are actually highlighted on it. I see Tim and Heather. We have, a few others who have been involved with our chapters, like Phi. So we have some celebrities here who've been highlighted on this. But on the back of it, it says how to share your vision. Your story is the power to inspire, educate, and show the many ways people experience seeing the world. And here it's going to give you that step-by-step guide that I was sharing with you about, is choosing your story. It has various prompts that are going to help you be able to craft that story. So like the gentleman we just listened to, what is a moment that made you feel seen? Here some other ones are, what would a breakthrough treatment or cure mean for you? So really these thought-provoking questions that can help guide what you want to share. Then there's also some tips and tricks of how to do it. So we suggest recording vertically on your phone in portrait mode to get the best image as possible. Keeping it under 90 seconds and speaking clearly in good lighting is really going to make sure that the person who is viewing your video is going to be able to see the best authentic self of you. And then also sharing your video on social media using that hashtag #ShareYourVision, and tag the Foundation Fighting Blindness, which is just the @ fight blindness. And then that way we can reshare your story as well. And our idea with this is that we're going to be able to have individuals from all over our chapter network be able to share about them. If you want to share something around, what it means to be involved with the chapters, how it has helped you, what work you're doing, I think this is a great option to be able to do that in this platform as well. We also have various QR codes as well as links to the whole Share Your Vision campaign, where it's really dedicated to this piece. Like I mentioned before, if you're not into recording a video of yourself, on this page, we have an option to create your own. So you can copy a story template that is going to help you be able to fill in some blanks in terms of, where to start. So you can really be able to use some of these story templates. You can select one of these other prompts below around writing your own story, recording your story, or video your story. And so that way it really makes a seamless approach to be able to share what your experience is like. Now we have another feature that is on this webpage as well that some of you may be familiar with, but this is a nice way to give a little bit of a glimpse to maybe a loved one who is not familiar of what you see on a day-to-day basis. So there's an option to show others what your vision may look like. Now, with this, we do understand that each person's degree and type of vision loss is very different. So this isn't going to be spot on with what some people are experiencing, but at least it can give a little bit of that sense of awareness to those who maybe are not familiar with what vision loss experience would be like. So on here, we have the option to select a retinal disease. We have macular degeneration, RP, Usher syndrome, Stargardt, Bardet-Biedl syndrome, choroideremia, and achromatopsia. And what it has here is a side-by-side of two pictures of a blue house that has some white pillars. There's green grass with a stone sidewalk coming up to the door. And so it keeps the image on the left of the original photo, but then over on the right, as you select what your vision diagnosis is, it modifies that image. So you can select your degree of vision loss. So right now for this example, I am showing someone with retinitis pigmentosa. And right now, the degree of vision loss I've selected is mild. And I'm showing what it might look like for somebody during the day who has mild vision loss due to RP. And as I am switching the focus for moderate degree, you can see that my image is going to change. So what this is doing to the image is it is graying out and blackening those corners of the image. So really the image is only being viewed in the center portion. And then of course with RP, as we know that it is more of the loss of that peripheral vision. So as we move into the severity, that center slowly moves in further to where it is someone is almost looking out of the center of a straw. But then it also gives you the option here where you can change view for day and view for light. So that way, if people maybe don't understand how someone with vision losses changes depending on type of day, this is a great way to explain that as well. So once you or your friends or family have, played around with these different image pieces, there's an option down here to enter your email address where you can send the image to yourself. So this is a great way that if you find something that comes close to represent the retinal condition that you are looking to highlight, that you can share that on your social media or share that with maybe your write-up of your story, so that people really can get a better understanding of what your vision journey is. Does anyone have any questions about this campaign? Would like to go into any of the tools or listen to anyone else's stories that have been shared already?
I think, Bailey, this is Dan. The link, I've been to the Foundation Fighting Blindness, fightingblindness.org/share your vision site, but I didn't specifically look for it. But is the gallery there for prior year share your vision stories?
Yes, it is. So in the gallery, we have some pre-populated stories in here from various individuals. Let's see. We have about 4 pages of stories. So there is a wide variety in here. Let me see if there's a few of them that are videos. So the first 2 I see here are videos. There's a lot of individuals who have done a write-up of their story. And then we have some potentially maybe just an audio version that people have done. Let's see. It looks like primarily most of these stories have been write-ups with a handful of individuals who have done their video stories. Let's see. Dan, we have yours in here. Would it be okay if we share your story with the group?
Certainly, if you wish. Now, I think mine is about 5 minutes long, so it's not a 90-minute limit, but mine's, I think, just heads up, maybe about 5 minutes long.
Okay, we can give at least a little bit of a clip, so that way our group here, if they have any reservations or hesitations on where to start, we can.
Hello, I'm Dan Day, a volunteer with the Foundation Fighting Blindness from Orlando, Florida, and in honor of Blindness Awareness Month, I'm pleased to share my journey of vision loss. I'm 69 years old and have a dominant form of retinitis pigmentosa that is very prevalent within my family. Though my own vision did not begin to worsen until my late 20s, my journey with vision loss really begins with my maternal grandmother. I do not remember a time when she was not totally blind, and I do remember visiting her when I was very young and watching with a certain fascination as she moved through the house seemingly effortlessly, doing normal household chores, cooking, cleaning, making beds. She even knitted good-fitting woolen socks and mittens for us for the cold winters in northern Maine, which is where I was raised. My mother became legally blind about the time I was born, and she managed the farmhouse with my father and their 4 children, seemingly not to notice her vision loss at all. My sister lost most of her vision before the age of 40 and was using a seeing eye dog by the age of 50. My older brother, who's a year older than I am, lost most of his vision before graduating college. In spite of that, he earned master's degrees in applied mathematics and computer science. My younger brother went legally blind in his 20s. Today, more than a dozen members of my family circle are in various stages of vision loss, ranging in ages from very young to the elderly. As you can see, my journey of vision loss is truly a family affair. In 1978, the year I turned 25, I had no symptoms of vision loss. However, in the spring of that year, I was clinically diagnosed as having the gene mutation by Dr. Elliot Burson at the first FFB-funded laboratory in Boston. A year later, I graduated from college and began my career as an information technology specialist with AT&T. Within a couple of years, I began to notice changes in my vision. Throughout my life and career, I've been fortunate that my vision loss has been very gradual and that adaptive technology has advanced at a pace that has kept up with my needs to adapt. I was also fortunate that my supervisors were also more than willing to support any needs I had for accommodation or for adaptive technology. Today, I still have significant vision, even though I became legally blind in the 1990s. As many of you know, seeing close family members experience the emotional impacts of steadily going blind can be worse than experiencing it yourself. With so many of my family members losing their vision to RP and going legally blind myself, you might think my journey has been one of despair, but quite the opposite. Seeing so many of my family members persevere over their vision loss have good quality of life, and successful careers gave me the confidence that on that day in 1980, when I first noticed RP was affecting my vision, that things would be okay. And thanks to the Foundation Fighting Blindness, it has been a true journey of hope. In over 30 years of involvement with the Foundation, I've seen progress grow from the identification of over 350 genes that cause RP, to the first FDA-approved treatment for one form of RP, to today funding more than 40 clinical trials of promising treatments, with that number steadily growing. In addition, my involvement with the Foundation has given me the privilege of meeting so many of you and hearing your stories of persevering over vision loss. Your stories of triumph in the face of vision loss are an inspiration and a reminder to me that I'm fortunate that my vision loss has been gradual and that even at the age of 69, I still have significant vision remaining. Because I've been so fortunate, I feel a special obligation to help drive the Foundation's mission, not just for my immediate family, but for so many of you who have become part of my extended family. Thank you for allowing me to share my vision with you. I hope you will join me in sharing FFB's mission to bring treatments and cures to those with retinal disease by going to fightingblindness.org and clicking on the donate button. With FFB's track record of scientific discoveries and accomplishments, we can say with confidence that together we're winning.
That's awesome, Dan. Thank you so much for letting us
Hello,
listen to
I'm
that.
Dan Day, a volunteer with the Foundation. See, you can't shut me up once you get me started. Thank you, Bailey, for sharing that. Appreciate it.
No worries. Thank us test that out on you. I think that it's nice to hear and have, you know, your friends and your fellow chapter leaders to see what they have done as you're trying to craft your own. It shakes away some of those nerves that, hey, someone else has done it, I can do it too. And Dan, I will say I loved the plug at the end for people to donate. So I highly encourage, if you feel drawn to ask people to donate as well, but definitely not necessary. But thank you, Dan, for letting us share that.
I'm just not getting in the Zoom, but I don't have to talk on this one.
So I'm hoping that we will see everybody on this call submit their story for Share Your Vision, whether it be a written paragraph, a couple sentences, or a couple paragraphs that really share your experience, an audio recording like Dan did, or if you feel like being a bit of a movie star, recording it on your phone and posting your video that way. We definitely encourage you to share them out to your community, because it's a really great way to help others understand what you're going through or what your loved one's going through. I think it's important too that not only to think about those who are personally affected, but the family and friends as well. We've had parents who've talked about their child's diagnosis and what their perspective is as from the parents' viewpoint. So I think there's a lot of different ways that this campaign can be interpreted. If you participated last year and don't think that sorry, I can't do it again this year, this is a great opportunity to even update people on where you are in comparison of last year. What has changed in your life? Have you moved? Have you found a new job? Have you had a success happen? So this is a great opportunity to utilize this platform for that as well. Great. So any thoughts or questions about Share Your Vision? I will put the website in the chat so that way you have that as well.
Just one. This is Bob Nash again, and that was an awesome presentation, Dan. I appreciate that. I come at this from the perspective of a caregiver with a long career in retinal surgery, and my experience, well, Dan's a good example of, and his family, of how people overcome vision loss. And sometimes I was more frustrated than them because I'm all about fixing things, and I couldn't fix their problem in most cases. So I really appreciate it. I also wanted to share something, this. Can't see it, but this is Katie Ledecky's biography. It's called Just Add Water, My Swimming Life by Katie Ledecky. And I just commenting on your keynote speaker, Katie, what I learned from her book is that she loves to swim, number one. Number two, she is a warrior in all senses of the word. And number three, she loves her family, including her grandfather, who was a Army veteran serving with the Marines in Okinawa as a combat surgeon and medic, and a hero, and then went on to a career as a general practitioner in North Dakota, and then named his, or the community named the swimming facility after him because he's an advocate for swimming, and had a granddaughter who's a champion. And he has he's passed away now, had macular degeneration. And part of her, a chapter is devoted to him, and part of it is about his perseverance with macular degeneration in his retirement years. So Katie, I'm sure your swimmer knows Katie. Katie would be a great advocate, probably. So thank you all for sharing.
Yeah, thank you for sharing that too, Bob. We'll have to add that to our list of to be read books, because I think that would be very applicable. I'm wondering if they had an audiobook version as well. And
I wouldn't know about that, but my daughter is currently who works for Amazon and works for Kindle and Amazon. She is probably listening to it now on her flight to Switzerland.
Oh,
so yes, there is an audiobook.
Awesome. Fantastic. I'm a sucker for an audiobook, so but perfect. Thank you for sharing. So I know we have kind of wrapped up the main piece of the agenda. So for the remainder part of the time, we have just blocked off for open discussion and Q&A. So this is just a really great time if there are any chapter leaders on the call who maybe want to talk about something that they are doing in their chapters, get advice from some of their fellow chapter leaders, that we can open it up for that. Tom, I see your hand, Rose, if you want to kick us off. Oh, I believe you're on mute, Tom.
How's that?
Yep, perfect.
Okay, so we were talking about this on our chapter call today, and Bailey, this is a question I think more for you or for the marketing folks. But as somebody that has spent a fair amount of time curating my LinkedIn network, and so for folks that aren't aware, there's about just over 1 billion users on LinkedIn currently, and about 234 million of those are US based. And of course, I've used that primarily professionally, right, for my job as an HR executive and all that. But lately I've been thinking, we have a lot of local events. We have these events we're talking about today. And now hearing you talk about visions and all this other stuff, I want to do a better job of bringing this piece into that mix. And so do we have a set of digital assets or templates where we could take different events, easily compile them, and then I could post those as appropriate? Because I'd really like to do, like I said, a better job and really bring more visibility and awareness to the cause, and social networking is an easy way to do that.
Yeah, I love that question, Tom. And I think that LinkedIn especially is a untapped connection market that we just don't utilize as much in this field and within the communities. We think about the Facebooks and the Instagrams and all of those, but really utilizing LinkedIn for some of those opportunities is fantastic. So yes, in short, we can definitely make sure that you all have social posts that can be shared on LinkedIn. If there's a certain community event that you have in your area, so say a Vision Connection, a Vision Walk, a Game Changers, one of our signature events, we usually have some version of a shell for those already created, so we can easily get those customized for your event or your activity, and that can be shared. I would suggest just working with your community manager if there's something specific that you would like to be created. I will say that sometimes it takes us a little bit of buffer to get some of those created. So if you need it on a Friday, I would suggest giving us a request on either the Friday prior or that Monday, just in case we have to bring in the marketing team if there's customizations that we're not able to make from our desk.
Okay, so let me just read that back to you. So about a week lead time minimum, kind of to make sure we've got, and then you all being marketing, right? You could produce a standard set of digital assets. And I'm expecting as we do more of this, they would look eerily similar. We would just change the content to reflect the event or the item we're trying to communicate. The one encouragement I would make, and I appreciated your comment about Dan's asking for money at the end of his audio presentation. I think that's an important part. And while not everybody's comfortable with that, I am. And so I would want to make sure that that gets included. So that's just a plug for you to see if, make sure we include the link and the donate button on the bottom of that. And as soon as we have our first one, I'll test it. I have LinkedIn Premium so I can get the analytics on how many people are viewing it. I publish a weekly newsletter that's HR. And so I can make these maybe as often as need be every other week or every two, whatever is working based on the activity that we're having. But I'm excited about being able to create more awareness to this process. So.
Yeah, I love that. And I think that it would be nice to hear some of those results, Tom, after you've tried this out and share them back to this group to see what has worked, what hasn't worked, what have people clicked on, what people haven't clicked on. And one thing I will highlight as well in regards to that donation piece, I love keeping that as a placeholder in many of these activities, but a lot of our signature events and things like Game Changers, our galas, those are a great opportunity for corporate organizations to get involved because there's a lot of networking pieces there. There's a lot of corporate awareness where they can promote their brand through different opportunities. So I think that those could really do well to push things forward by sharing them in with the professional network. Jill, I see your hand up, and then we'll go to Tim.
I just wanted to also suggest regarding LinkedIn, the foundation itself has a very robust LinkedIn platform. And if anybody's not already following us on LinkedIn, definitely recommend doing that and sharing and commenting and resharing any of our posts. It's another great way to help us raise awareness.
Thanks, Jill. Tim, over to you. Oh, and for some reason, we're not hearing your audio, but it doesn't look like you're muted.
How about now?
Yep, perfect.
Oh, okay. Sorry, my mic wasn't working on my computer. So, on as far as LinkedIn, I'm on a leadership group with several leadership or accessibility leaders from around the country, and one of the people in these meetings is the accessibility lead for LinkedIn, and if anything should happen to come up that is an accessibility issue or anything that we might need to address with them, it may be good to be able to connect with them directly, because I'm sure they'd like to hear from us considering what his role is. So just let me know if that can help at all.
Yeah, no, thanks, Tim. That's a great piece to know, because I know that that's always a big challenge with a lot of the content too that we put out as an organization, is we want to make it accessible. And so knowing how that is going to function on another social platform, I think that would be beneficial. Dan, I see your hand up.
Yeah, thanks, Bailey. Just a follow-up on Bob was talking earlier about Katie Ledecky and Just Add Water. So I took a quick look at the Talking Book Library. That book indeed is in Bard and is listed there as a commercial audiobook. So it's certainly, that book there is available through Bard or I'm sure through Amazon or other audiobook publishers.
Awesome. Thanks for checking that out. We might have some more individuals reading that and listening to it over the next couple of weeks. All right, great. So any other thoughts that anyone wants to bring to the group while we're all here today?
Bailey, I'm sorry. It's Tim again. I joined a couple of minutes late. Was there talk about the keynote speaker? Do we have somebody identified?
Yes, we do have somebody identified. Her name is Anastasia Pagonis, and she is a para-Olympian. So she will be speaking during the Friday session and talking a little bit about her experience with low vision. She, outside of just being a para-Olympian and a world record swimmer, she also is in the fashion community and does a lot of social impact and advocacy. So she should be a really great, energetic speaker. We actually had her at Night for Sight in New York this year, and we got a bit of a taste of her story. She showed up, poor girl, with a broken arm because she tripped beforehand. But she faced it like a champion as she is and did a fantastic job. So yes, her bio is on the Visions 2026 page if anyone wants to take a deeper dive into that.
Good. I was just going to suggest Molly Burke as one option too, and maybe she's good for something else. But Molly's a great speaker. So
yeah, no, that's
her
good
book's
to
coming
know.
out next month. So yeah,
great.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, if there's no other thoughts or pressing needs for this group, I'll give you a little bit of time back for the rest of your Wednesday. We are scheduled to meet again on October 15th, and I will send an updated agenda because due to some travel plans, due to different things, we've had to shift some of the content around, I know, the past couple of months. So we'll make sure that you all have the updated one that will get us through the rest of this calendar year. But I hope you all enjoy the rest of your Wednesday afternoon, and we'll talk next month.
Thanks, everyone. Bye.
Thanks,
Thank you.
everyone.
See everyone.
Bye now.
Thank you.